Hey, what's going on, my fellow reefers? March here, Fragbox TV, and this is the final episode of our cheapest Nano Reef tank. Diggs! Did you have fun? Was it fun building that tank? Yes, it was. Okay guys, what's up, my fellow reefers? Fragbox TV. So this was kind of a fun little project we did here in the store. We set up as cheap as possible as we could a 5.5 gallon reef tank. If you haven't already watched the series, go back. There's 8 episodes. So I tried to do a video every single week, what it took to set it up and how we could try and make a thriving reef tank on a very tight budget. So it came out to just over 200 bucks. It's been running now 8 weeks. We got it up and cycled, show you how we did that. And we went through a little bit of an algae bloom. We've solved the dino or diatom issue, that we had, but we're running into now a little red slime issue here. So we're going to shut the tank down shortly. This is probably due to too much nutrients in the water or not enough flow. So as you can see, we have the power head up here in the top corner and it swings the flow around, but it's natural in most reef tanks that you're going to end up with a dead spot. So we're getting one, I think, right here because it's only growing in this one spot. I go ahead and clear it out with a turkey baster and it comes back repeatedly in that one specific spot. So what that is telling me, what it entails is that it's probably a dead spot, it's probably not enough flow. We started to run into algae issues when this little tank, when we added the second fish. So we had the one fish in here, I don't see him now because he's really small, and everything was going great. Then we were kind of pushing our luck. We added a second fish. It is just a 5 gallon tank, so there is extra waste involved with another fish and feeding and decaying matter. So we ran into that little diatom that we cleared up with snails and water change. And then now we have this dead spot. If it's not the dead spot, let's say I added another power head and I'm still getting issues, I would run some more carbon. I'm just talking about this hypothetically because I'm shutting the tank down, and unfortunately I'm not going to show you how to beat it. It's not a very tricky algae to beat. It's quite common, especially with new tanks. It's characterized by this like rusty red sort of film, and it comes back very quick. There's one other way you can beat it if the flow isn't helping. So this is the other very effective way of beating it. Sorry, that's called ChemiClean. It's a solution in a bottle. So I don't typically recommend stuff like this unless you've tried other methods to beat algae and that doesn't work. Then I'll recommend something like this. It almost always works. And it's going to make your skimmer go crazy. If you're running one, you got to take out your carbon filtration. Just follow the directions on the box, but that's a good product if you're looking to get rid of red cyano. So after 8 weeks, the xenia in this tank has simply exploded. So that's the pulsing xenia, and I'm really surprised by this small, well, he's not even that small, this green goddess frag. He isn't showing signs of any growth, but he's been in here for a couple weeks and he's doing exceptionally well. Polyps are out. Color is actually really good under this very inexpensive aquanite light. The zoas have grown. The GSP has probably tripled in size since we've added it. I want to say 3 weeks ago. That's a coral that grows really quick. The acans look good. The trumpet, we did lose a torch coral a little early on and we were having trouble with the hammer, but that's since rebounded since we started adding magnesium. One other coral loss I'm going to show you here because I always like to show you, the good and the bad. That's this Montipora confusa. It started receding, I don't know if you can see on the camera, from the base up, and it's about, I don't know, 30% dead. I'll show you here on the other side. So I'm going to chalk this up to Fragbox team laziness. That might not be the issue, but we weren't really staying on top of the auto top off on this tank. We had installed one and it actually almost failed one night. It's one of these snails blocked the sensor, and I just sort of saw an accident waiting to happen because we have our expensive kind of computer checkout area over here and the iPad, lots of equipment and electricity. And when I saw that, I got a little nervous, so we pulled off the auto top off and we went back to doing it by hand, and it wasn't sort of the it didn't get the most attention. It should have been topped off more often, and I think that may have caused some of the issues with that confusa. It's a harder coral to keep. Other than that, corals more or less growing, doing well, happy. One more piece of sad news. I don't know why I'm ending the series on such bad news, but at the beginning of our channel I always said that I would show you guys the good and the bad. Unfortunately, the clownfish that we had in here, he jumped. He went for a ride We found him just a couple days ago on the floor, dried up. So something to consider if you're going to keep clownfish in your tank, or any fish in general. You should have a lid. A lot of fish can jump. Clownfish are known to jump. I got very, very lucky the other day because one of my favorite fish in this tank over here, we call him Banana, this large yellow wrasse, this thing came flying out, and I was lucky enough to be in the store, and one of our customers said, "Oh my God, fish on the floor," and we were lucky enough to be here in that moment. It's not as aesthetically pleasing, I think, to have a lid on the tank, but sorry, that being said, if you are looking for one, this is a great company in the United States. They make these lids, they're called Pro Clear. They are super professional. They are not cheap. We don't sell them. I have no sponsorship here on the channel. I don't care if you buy it or not. I just ordered one from them. It's from the United States. It's called Pro Clear. Their workmanship, craftsmanship is awesome. I highly, highly recommend them. And they do make prefab lids like for this Red Sea Reefer here. Anyways, that's my sidetrack for this video. I start talking about tanks and then I start talking about lids. I think we're ready to wrap this thing up. We're gonna go ahead and tear it down. One of our customers fell in love with the tank. I think they're going to take it home, and then we can get started on our next project, which is the JBJ that should be here, but somebody bought our floor model today, so congrats to you for taking home that tank. But we're going to get another one in. I'm going to set up the JBJ 10 gallon, and I think we're going to do the opposite of this tank. So this one was sort of to showcase how you can set up an inexpensive reef tank on a budget. I'm going to do the exact opposite. We're going to take this 10 gallon tank and I'm going to trick it out with some of the coolest, most expensive, stupid high-end equipment that you normally wouldn't put on a 10 gallon tank. I'm going to try and make maybe the most expensive 10 gallon reef tank and see what that looks like. So if you guys like this video, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. You know, we can always be contacted. I'm going to leave our contact info now at the end of this video. Give us a shout if you got any questions about this reef tanks in general. You know we love talking about this stuff. But I think that's it for today's video and for this series. Thank you very much if you guys watched along from the beginning. I think that's it. Diggs? Are we done with reefing for today? This guy's been done for a while. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Fragbox TV.